Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer. You know, I have to tell you, my half brother and I are no longer allowed to play with the chainsaw. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look as I rank my top 10 DC deck building game core boxes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am a huge fan of the DC Comics deck building game. It's a tremendous line of games. It's so much fun to see how inventive they can be every time they come out with a new core box and what they bring to the table. So what I'm doing here is I'm looking at as I say, the core boxes. So I'm not taking a look at the crisis packs or the crossover packs or some of the other little goodies, the rivals that they did. I'm just looking at these base core boxes. By my count, there are 10. I'm not counting the one Teen Titans Go, which is kind of a deck building game for kids. I do have the Teen Titans one here, but not that one. So I'm basically just going to go ahead and rank these and tell you what I think. So starting with number 10, I'm going to say Dark Knight's Metal. Dark Knight's Metal is probably the darkest version, and there's been some dark versions of this, but you've got some really, really creepy cards. The Batman that laughs. You kind of get into this kind of dark multiverse area with this game. But you get things like there was the you get like some you take out some of the villains, you get the instant rewards for taking them out. There was also the foil cards that you could play, the metal cards that you could play during the course of the game. It was a beautiful game. I enjoyed it, but it's my least favorite of them all. I don't know if it's because it's so dark, because I do like some of these other versions that are pretty dark too, but this is probably the darkest. But that is my number 10. That is Dark Knight's Metal. Again, these are all from Cryptozoic. My number 9 is a game in the series that was a little bit different because it was a kind of a campaign legacy game, and this was Rebirth. And I know Rebirth, I don't think it was as well received as a lot of the others, and I never completed the campaign. I just made it through the first, I think, few missions. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I was not a huge fan of kind of the standees and the locations. That didn't thrill me. I appreciated them doing something new here, but I wasn't just wild about using the standees. That being said, the game itself was fun, and there were some fun twists and turns, and it was neat kind of playing this story. I'll never forget, I was down in Texas. I played that first game, and there's something you open up at the end of that first turn, and I won't spoil it for anybody, but we all really had a good laugh at that, and it was really a lot of fun. So that is my number 9. That is Rebirth. My number 8 is Teen Titans, the Teen Titans core set from 2014, 15, I can't remember. This one is a lot of fun. It had, of course, the Teen Titans. You had Red Robin, you had Raven, you had Beast Boy. But the thing that this really brought to the game that kind of changed things up is in previous editions of the game, the only ongoing cards were locations. You would play a location card that would be ongoing, and it would continue to give you benefits as long as it was out on your turn. And then here, what this introduced was there are a lot of different cards that you could put out in front of you that would be ongoing, and they could, be attacked or they could affect the game on your turn. And it was kind of fun then to have different cards that had that ability that, again, to that point was just what locations did. So I really, really liked that idea quite a bit. And this was fun characters, kind of fun new gameplay mode with the ongoing cards, and again, a lot of fun. So that is my number 8. That is Teen Titans. My number 7 is another one of the early games. This is Forever Evil. And Forever Evil was fun because it was the first time you played the game from the villain's perspective, where you actually got to play as the villains and you're attacking the heroes here. You're trying to take them out, but you're also attacking each other. And there are a lot of attacks in this game. And this is a game that has a lot of card destruction. So as you were playing through it, you can cull your deck a lot easier than you could in previous games. One thing too here I liked is this is, if as I recall, this is the first game that introduced the victory point tokens. So in addition to the victory points you're getting on the cards themselves, you actually had victory point tokens, and you could have some of your enemies could steal from you. They could thieve those victory points from you and take them from you. And that was pretty fun. But there were a lot more attacks in this game. This was a lot more brutal, a lot more dangerous attacks. It was just a lot of fun. I think this. In fact, it's been a while since I played this one. I'm talking about it. I want to get it back to the table. That is Forever Evil. That is number 7. My number 6 is one that came out here not too long ago. And I like this one because, again, it is very brutal. It is very attack driven. And this is Injustice. And Injustice is a great kind of story. I didn't read the comic books, but after I played the game, I watched the animated movie they made of it, where Superman kind of becomes a tyrant and superheroes are fighting each other. They kind of touch on this idea in the Snyderverse a little bit, but it's a really really fun system. You've also got these like little dials, and you're like charging special powers. When you charge a special power, you can use that card and you can do that special ability. But again, it is just brutal. You are constantly attacking each other. You're constantly trying to take each other down. And I really like the cutthroat nature of this one quite a bit. Again, this is another one that kind of goes into some of that darker territory, and it is a lot of fun. So that is Injustice. That is my number 6. My number 5 is the most recent one as of this recording. This is Arkham Asylum. Now, Arkham Asylum, like I say, it just came out here about a month or two ago. I played it several times since. I like it. There's an expansion within it that you can turn it into a team game, a 2v2. But just the base game, again, you're playing the villains. You are the villains in the DC universe escaping from Arkham Asylum. You're going after heroes. You're trying to take down heroes, and Batman is the ultimate one you're trying to get. But what's cool here is like the Riddler's got like tokens he puts out. Whenever you take a card that's underneath one of these Riddler tokens, you have to reveal it. And sometimes it may help you, sometimes it'll hurt you, sometimes it'll help the Riddler. So there's that. You've also got Harvey Dent, the Two Face. A lot of his cards you're flipping a coin, and there's other cards that flip coins as there as well. Mr. Freeze can actually kind of freeze cards out of your deck and discard pile, and you kind of have to wait to reshuffle before you can put them back in or create a new discard pile with them. Really interesting stuff there. But the gameplay too, it introduces hostages. You can only buy one hostage per turn, but they can give you some ongoing and persistent abilities sometimes, or certain advantages you can do on your turn. You've got bribery. You can actually bribe cards in the lineup, meaning you pay victory points as a currency instead of power to gain the abilities and the power of that card just for that turn. And so it's cool the way you use victory points, not only as victory points, but also as a currency in this game to use those cards. Bribery is really cool. Like I say, I played this one several times just recently, and I have really, really enjoyed it. So that is number 5, Arkham Asylum. My number 4 is one that came out about a year or so ago, and this is Justice League Dark. And again, I played this several times when it came out, and I played it again here not too long ago. It is tremendous fun. Justice League Dark is a great game, great version of the game where you've got kind of transform cards. Some cards actually will transform into more powerful versions of the cards, and then other game effects will kind of make them go back, revert to their less powerful versions of the cards. And what you've got is you actually have these like seals where you can almost kind of bank cards, and you can have these cards kind of under your seal and your bank that you can then kind of use in different ways and inventive ways. And it's great here too because you got like Constantine and you got various magic heroes and stuff like that. And so this game kind of really, again, is a dark game, hence the name. But it kind of goes into that territory. But you also get a lot of really fun abilities and ideas with the transforming cards, and kind of those cards you can bank, you can seal, I think it's what it's called. So really enjoyed it. That is Justice League Dark. That is my number 4. My number 3 is a game that I really enjoyed because it makes within that core deck, you can play it one-on-one, but it is great, and it's meant to be played as a 2v2, and this is Confrontations. Now, a lot of the Rivals sets that have come out have this kind of confrontation ability. On your turn, you can take a regular turn like normal, buying cards from the lineup, or you can engage in a confrontation with your opponent. And this does this very well in this confrontation set. In a confrontation, you're essentially adding up your points, your power, to try to take down your enemy's oversized card. Each enemy has 3 oversized hero cards worth 9, 12, and 15. And if you can take down all three, you instantly win. Here, you got to take them down both. But it's great because you got two heroes versus two villains. You got Wonder Woman, Superman, Lex Luthor, the Cheetah, several other heroes as well and villains. I think Aquaman's in this one, and it's great because it's a team, and there are cards that allow you to help your teammate, and you can help each other out over the course of the game. And I really, really enjoy that. I like games where you can cooperate with people. I like cooperative games, but I also really, really like team games quite a bit. And this one is, again, just amazing. I really, really like Confrontations. And I think it's one that maybe didn't get quite the love it deserved because it's great. So that is my number 3, Confrontations. My number 2 was the second set that was released, and this is Heroes Unite. And Heroes Unite is pretty basic gameplay, but I don't know. I just feel like everything really comes together here. You've got some great heroes. You've got Nightwing, Black Canary, Batgirl is in this one. I think Red Tornado is in this one. So you have a lot of some of the kind of, I guess you'd say, second tier heroes. But the gameplay is good. It's quick. I like the combinations that came out of it. There's a great card called Force Field that you can actually use like an ongoing card that's like a permanent defense. That was the first time I'd seen something like that. And I don't know what it is. It's a simple version of the game, but it clicks with me. I like it. In fact, honestly, this one is kind of neck and neck with my number 1, but I gave the number 1 the edge because I think there's some more iconic heroes there. But that is my number 2. That is Heroes Unite, again, from Cryptozoic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't guessed it so far, my number 1 favorite DC Comics deck building game is the DC Comics deck building game, the core game, the original, the first. I love this game for a lot of reasons. First of all, I love it because I love the iconic heroes. I love playing Superman, Green Lantern, The Flash, Wonder Woman, Batman. I love playing with these heroes, and I love the villains that you're going up against. Lex Luthor, Ra's al Ghul, the Joker. I think this one is awesome. I love, too, the fact that this was the first deck-building game I ever played that I liked. I'd played some before that I just didn't get into, and I played this one, and it blew me away. And my love for deck building goes back to me playing this game originally. So I really, really enjoyed that. And then, of course, recently they've just come out with the new Party Starter Edition, which is the same game in a much smaller box. I actually just did a review on that, and I'm really excited to have that tiny, tiny box. So that's pretty cool there as well. But really, I think out of all of the DC Comics deck building games, I have played this one the most, and I know the cards the most here. And this is a game that I use to teach other people deck building because it's so easy to get into. It's an intuitive game. And it's also one that I like to play with friends who also play this game because it's one I know this game. Maybe if I don't know it inside and out, I almost know it inside and out because I know how the cards work. I know what cards I want to go for, and I know kind of the path to victory in this better than any of them. And it's just a blast. I love this game so much. I love all of the DC deck building games, but this one has that very special place in my heart. It was the first, and to me, it remains the best. So that is my number 1 DC Comics deck building game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me know. What do you think? What are your favorite DC deck building games, core games? I'd really like to know. Do you like to play with a lot of the expansions, the crossovers, the crises? What do you like? How do you like to play the game? I'm very excited to hear back because I love these games so much. So go ahead, leave a comment here on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, on X. We'd love to hear from you. And please, please, please like this video on YouTube and subscribe. That really means a lot if you haven't done so. Please subscribe to us. Also, please give us a like on Board Game Geek as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you do like this channel, I would humbly ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD. There we talk about military history, books on history. I post some of my lectures on there. Please check that out. Please subscribe to that channel. It would mean the world to me. And if you do really like what we do here on The Discriminating Gamer, I would humbly ask you to click on the Super Thanks button and leave a tip. Earlier today, I ate 4 cans of alphabet soup. Then I had the biggest bowel movement of my life.
Please somebody help me on my feet again. And I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I've been dying. Once a year I wind up in
take out one supervillain, it only ensures that another takes his place. And when he does appear in the game, a first appearance attack occurs, which affects all players with special demonic things like weakness cards, or perhaps you have to mix your cards up with other players. Oh, it is devilish.